The acceleration of everything is troublesome to me. I think we're accelerating ourselves beyond what our hearts and minds can actually absorb. And we're all living checklist lives. We're all just getting everything done, or not. There are certain bastions against this acceleration. Reading, real reading. Sex, nothing you can do about that, can't fast forward it. Music, you can walk out of a Bruckner symphony, but you cannot speed it up. You are at the mercy of whatever the tempo of a piece of music is, which is why it's one of the most honest making and one of the great spiritual correctives of what we're living in. You can't do anything except walk out. If you speed things up, what you're really doing is diminishing or impoverishing or in some way even abolishing experience. Because experience takes place in time. There's a 10th century Jewish philosopher who wrote a very influential book of philosophy, a rationalist work in what is now Iraq. And in the foreword to his book, he asks a perfectly sensible question. He says, if God wanted us to know the answers, why didn't he just tell us? This is a perfectly good question, and the answer that he gives is that because if he had told us, we wouldn't, in a strict sense, know it. And what he's saying there is what would be absent is the dimension of time or struggle, which is time or method or call it whatever you want. The experience of acquiring knowledge is what makes something part of the certainty that we have it in some way. And the technology is something that concerns me enormously. It's getting more and more sophisticated. And I'm not in any way a Luddite. But the technology reduces all knowledge to the status of information. And so we're living in a religion of information so that if you can Google, say, my zip code, and you can also type in the question, does God exist? They both will be experienced the same way, when maybe they shouldn't be experienced the same way.